So I was having trouble getting the screw to engage here. So I wanted to show you what you can do if that happens. Now, the first thing you can do is try another motor. And I'll show you why in a moment. Well, first of all, the first reason, of course, is that maybe this one will work. So we'll put these in, and we'll see. And we'll get our screwdriver. And it's easier to have the motor just sitting on the table. There we go. The wires from the two motors are hitting each other. And let's see if we can get these to engage. So this is, I got lucky on the first one, I guess, because these don't want to engage. Okay, so I tried another one, and that didn't work. And so we'll try one more because I want, before I go on to the next solution, which is a little more involved, we want to make sure that there isn't maybe, see, this is a kind of a shortcut, and maybe we won't have to do the more extreme solution that I'm thinking about. Okay. So this is one of the issues we bought with the kit we bought. We didn't go with one of these mainstream kits that was going to be more expensive than we could afford. So what happens then is you get some problems with quality of the machining. So this isn't something that if you guys get into engineering, you have to think about where do you spend your money, because it could be more expensive to do the repair work than it is to buy the better kit to begin with. So that one doesn't fit either. Okay, so we have one more attempt here before we go into the more involved solution. Is that in this case, both times the red wire was sticking up in all three trials. So on the other side here, now that's still the black wire facing up, but over here in this one, the red wire will face up, and that means that we're using the holes in the block on the other side of the block. So now we will try this out, and I hopefully, yeah, see, that one's going right in. Okay, very good. So now you're going to see what we're going to do on the other two motors, since we need to have it reversed. So the black wire is facing towards us when we have this thing upside down. I'll show you in a moment. I might also just tighten this down and be done with it. Now, be careful about using a larger screwdriver, because you tighten it down too much. Now this is wiggling, so that's not tight enough. If you tighten it, if you do a gorilla job on it with a really big screwdriver, there's a chance you'll crack the plexiglass. So you don't want to do that. It won't be the end of the world, but what will happen over time is the crack may get bigger and bigger, and eventually your chassis may split apart. Okay, so let's see. So that's still moving just a little bit, but I didn't even test this one. You know, that one, yeah, they wiggle slightly, but I am a strong person and big hands, so probably it's okay for our robot kit. Okay, so then what we have to do here is, first of all, let's just make sure that the red side, the screws will go into it, period, because If they don't, then we have to even go to another solution, which involves Dr. Harry or somebody from Upward Bound bringing you a different metal block, because this is not something you'll be able to fix at home. So we can just it's easier to just do a quick test like this. And notice that the motor is in the wrong orientation. So the only way this is going to work at the end of the day is if I reverse the metal block. But first of all, I just want to check and see if, alright, that goes in, nice. So this metal block is going to be useful. I just have to turn it over. So now I can see that, yeah, that goes right in too. Maybe I can see that what we should have done is we should have tested these metal blocks before we put them onto the motors. But you know, it's a toss-up if that would have saved us time. So then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to loosen up the two screws that holding on the metal block once again, and then I'm going to hold the screws in my fingers, and I'm going to take off the two nuts. Remember, these nuts can go dancing around on us very easily. Then I'm going to pull off the metal block. You have to be careful not to drop it, because you'll forget. Okay, so what we can do is we can take a marker. In my case, I'll get a marker, and I'll say that, so I want this to be by the black wires, so I'll label that with a B. And now I'll take it off, and now if I drop it, I'll know how to put it back. And then I put it on, back on there. So now the B is by the black wire. And then I'll put the nuts back on. Here we go. Well, that's one of them. See, it's important to keep don't lean back and do this while you're in your chair holding it over your lap, because the screw will go dancing away on you. It might even dance away on the tabletop, but at least you have a greater chance of having it, not losing it. And then I'm going to tighten this back down. And now I'm ready to put it onto the chassis with the other two motors. Alright.